Afternoon, everybody. It is cold, it is drafty in the northwest. The final Premiership venue before a 2-month hiatus in the Gallagher Premiership. Bath in a good space, sitting on top of the pile. Sale find themselves chasing the pack as they did last season. But how a win today would turbocharge that effort. They need this. So as we know, absentees a problem this weekend. Alex Sanderson without 8 frontliners, all employed on England duty. So a raft of changes necessitated, including a whole new front row. It means a first Premiership start at hooker for Ethan Kane. No Luke Cowan-Dickey and Tommy Taylor injured. And of course, these are the kind of weeks you absolutely rely on the Dupree family. And fortunately, all 3 of the brothers are turning out today. 2 of them in the back row, alongside the excellent Dugdale, with Sale 2 curries down. Gus Waugh back at 9, Marcy White impressive against Toulon. And Aaron Reid, he's been with the Scotland Six Nations squad, but he's named on the wing here. 5 changes for Johan van Graan as he works without his England contingent. And like Aaron Reid, Finn Russell and Josh Bayliss have spent time in the Scotland camp this week, limiting their involvement in training to just a single session, but such is their importance. Both of them start today. Charlie Ewells and Thomas du Toit amongst the key returnees in the pack. And behind the scrum, Russell paired with Louis Schroeder, clocking his 50th Bath appearance. Will Butt back at 12 as well. And Redpath and Lawrence both missing. Bath opting for a 6-2 split on their bench as well. Keep an eye out for Billy Saylor, yet another of England's exciting emerging props. 1 or 2 matchups to get your teeth into there, Sam, head-to-head wise.
Yeah, I think physicality is going to be the name of the game here. It was earlier in the season, but it's hard to look past the 2 number 8s. Dan Dupree obviously brings so much physicality to this Sale team, but Barbie's been brilliant as he come back into that number 8 shirt for Bath, and both teams will be looking to those men to take them forwards.
Yeah, I agree. I think it'll be a really physical encounter, and also field position will be really important. So I've gone for the 10s. Rob Dupree versus Russell. We heard in the build-up the kicking skills that Russell possesses in terms of those forward passes, but also the 50-20s. Rob Dupree has got to do exactly the same, and probably a little bit more, because Sale are hampered more than Bath with what's going on with the internationals.
So there are the league leaders, the pace setters. Beaten finalists last season, of course, most people's favourites to go one better this June. And as Austin was mentioning, Sale depleted for this final round of league action ahead of the Six Nations, and like quite a few sides this season, not entirely sure of themselves. They've been Jekyll and Hyde, really, mostly home and away. So what of Bath and Charlie Ewells out of the Champions Cup after defeat in Dublin last weekend, arguably strengthening their claims on the Gallagher Premiership. Relatively speaking, limited disruption to their squad this weekend. And of course with a rare depth of talent anyway, and that perhaps is exemplified by a man like Louis Schroeder, running out for his 50th first team appearance for Bath. Seasoned pro, South African international, and stepping in with Ben Spencer on England duty currently. Thomas du Toit anchoring their scrum, and Finn Russell dictating terms from number 10. They look well placed to handle the kind of physical challenge here this afternoon. Edged out by Northampton by a single point, but otherwise in really excellent form in the league. Won 6 of their last 7 in the Premiership. Here comes Gus Waugh, 100th game in all for the Sale Sharks. Enjoying a really good scrap for that 9 shirt with Rafi Quirk these days. But if you want a man for a scrap on a day like today, Gus Waugh's probably your bloke.
Maybe to start them, I'm not sure about finishing.
He's always there or thereabouts, isn't he? And the heartbeat of the Sale Sharks so often. So week by week they've been excellent and then pretty ordinary. Brilliant against Bristol away, poor against Gloucester, thumped by the Stormers, superb against Toulon. Just horribly inconsistent really, except, Sam, we know they generally pull it out here.
Very tough place to come. It's very windy out there as well. You know, they're going to be used to playing in conditions up here. Always seems to be a wind when I come up here. It looks like when I was down there, it's going from right to left. So it looks like Bath are playing into the wind to start off. Not sure whether that's something that Sale have chosen to have the wind by winning the toss. We'll find out maybe later.
Yeah, no doubt. The wind, a big factor. Bath getting us underway through Finn Russell, and they are playing into that wind. Described as uphill, as I ran into Brian Redpath earlier today, who said when you're playing against that wind from that end, it feels that way. So let's just see how much Sale can make the most of that little advantage in this first 40 minutes. Up she goes from War. Very nicely measured. A little bit of crossing there from the Bath players as they seek to get underneath it. And the Sharks have the first penalty of the match.
Yeah, you've got to be super careful now. Look at Schroeder, just steps across, does he? Oh, I'm not so sure. I mean, I think there's a lot of players buying penalties nowadays.
The fact he's looking doesn't help,
yeah,
is it? I think that's what the referee probably sees. He's looking.
I mean, it had almost no impact on proceedings, which is a little bit disappointing. But there we are. Bath pen back inside their half as a consequence. Here's Ethan Kane, his first Premiership start. A little bit short at hooker at the moment. Sale, Cowan-Dickey and Tommy Taylor unavailable.
Okay, make sure you're back. When you get off. It's on the field.
Take
Okay,
two.
let's go again.
Well, that's a rarity.
Wow.
You just have to have some part of your boot touching that line. I'm not even sure that there was on that occasion, but there we are. Gus Waugh bundled by Bayliss. Just one part of the Scotland contingent. And a scratchy start here. Another penalty, this time to Bath at the breakdown.
That's good pressure in the air, in the line out. And then it's good pressure through the line out. I think it's Bayliss, yeah, you're right, who flies through. And sometimes, like Sale probably don't expect that. You switch off, you think you win the ball, lifting pod goes out, deliver the ball back. But everyone else in the line out still has a job to not let the Bath players come through. And you don't think it all the time, but now they'll expect it. Probably for the next time they win the ball, they've got to be hot on there, just obstruct them subtly. But that's good play from Bath, putting pressure on early on at set piece.
Josh Bayliss, I mentioned him and Finn Russell. They've had just the one session this week with Bath at Farley House. And couple that with the weather and you get an idea of the disruption for all the sides. Barbary, one hand free, getting it away to Ewells. And here's Annett, and they're building nicely. Here's Abano. Red card, of course, last weekend off the back of 2 yellows against Leinster, but cleared to play today. And Ewells again muscling forwards. Schroeder to Quinru. Keeping it in the tight confines at the moment, Bath. And that's been coughed up in contact. It's gone forwards. And Sale will regather possession here.
Ball's here. Stay no, Louis, can't play him. Time is over.
The clearance is big from Dupree with the wind behind him. Russell finding to Glanville. He's banged over on the 10-metre line. Abano has another crack and is well met by Wilgriff John. Bayliss. Again, that burst of pace, that acceleration, one of the reasons he was deployed on the wing a couple of weeks back against the Saints for a moment, the day they stacked their bench 7-1 in favour of the forwards.
That was forward, wasn't it? Got away with that.
It was a great line, it's a great angle, it's a marginal pass.
Ball's here, it's on your other player.
Ewells to Reed, half through that tackle. And now a bit of width, again Bayliss hovering in that 5-metre channel, trying to make the most of the width. Stretch that Sharks defence. You know if you run straight into the teeth of it, it's going to be trouble. Just ask the Bristol Bears. Abano carrying hard in these early stages. Brought down by Cy McIntyre. Picked up now and driven onwards by Ojomo. Into double figures on the phase front. A casual little switch play between Russell and Tom de Glanville. Russell again, double pump on the ball and smuggles it away at close quarters.
Good defence from Gus Wall, though. He just got in his eye line, made sure he couldn't throw that long pass.
Russell again to the line, late decision making to Glanville, banged over by Carpenter, picked up by Thokana Singer.
Just a knock on. Barney's over for the knock on.
15 phases and still not able to puncture the line. To Glanville, though, might just be able to. Sets it up, the ball is out and Gus Worrell's all over that. Scrud having a hard time securing possession. Dutoit, hard and straight, and those enormous legs pumping towards the 22-metre line. Now a Jomo. McConaughey, Bayliss, back in field, searching for the spaces. Sale's defence holding up really nicely here. 20 phases in, and then the ball again. Spitting out in contact, chance on the counter-attack. Reed in a little bit of space, and he'll burn off everybody around him. He's so quick. Across comes to Glanville, little chip from Reed, and back goes Will Butt. He's not gathered it either. Sale sensing an opportunity here. Brilliant work from Aaron Reed. What a chase that was. What a field position this is. Dupree now. Crowd in behind them for the first time this afternoon. Rob Dupree for Cy McIntyre. Time for Bath to warm their shoulders defensively for the first time. Doug Dale, the man who's doing such an excellent job in the absence of the two Currys, and Bath are strong at the breakdown and rewarded the penalty, and an exhausting passage of play finally draws to a close.
You've got to keep your eyes on Reed, haven't you? You give him space, he is so rapid. It's a good little turnover. Here's a knock-on. Then they throw the long ball from Dupree out wide. And you just think, as he gets this kick, you think, well, Finn Russell's got loads of gas on him. No, not interested. He goes straight past him. It's only Dick Glanville's got the cover. Just gets there to interrupt it in time. And then they turn him over on the floor, Will. But if they got the ball wide from that phase there, you'd have thought they'd have scored.
It's harder, isn't it? They just defended for 20 phases, and the forwards all have to chase up 50, 60 metres, and that's why they almost lost shape. And Miles Reed, the brilliant work rate for himself to get back over the ball, but just didn't have the energy to get into any attacking shape. Great defensive shape from Sale, but just couldn't transition into attack.
Lovely line-out ball from Charlie Ewells. Here's Barbary. And they go through Van Rijn to have a little double at the breakdown. Has to break away. Scrudder to the air. Holds up in the wind a little bit. Good tap back from Thokana Singer. Niall Annett gathers it. And Sale again. Dig in over the breakdown and draw the penalty.
It's a nice box kick, and it's a great kick chase as well. Didn't play into the teeth of that Sharks defence, as you alluded to earlier, Ali. Gets over the ball really well. But just getting up and getting that tap back off and the Singer was smart.
It was Carpenter, wasn't it? You could just see the look on his face. He's like, I'm going to hold on to this ball and I'm going to say a few prayers.
Yeah.
And especially when you jackal in that position, the attack are oncoming with lots of momentum.
Yeah.
They're all coming forwards. Yeah, 20, 30 metres. It's much easier to clear out, so he did really well to survive that clear out.
It's an invitation to pain, isn't it, basically?
He loved it. Knew it was coming. First blast up the middle from Maasi White, who's been playing a lot of his rugby with Caldy in the Championship over recent weeks, but
this is a really nice pass actually from Kane. Threads the needle, lovely ball. Get a nice setup, they get out into the midfield, the carry is not too bad, go round the corner, they're setting up quite well. It's just the execution right at the end. This is such a good pass, look, threads the needle out to the outside. Just got to back themselves a little bit more. When Sale play expansive rugby, they're really, really good. But for me, I just don't think they do it often enough to be comfortable with it.
Not reached that stage quite yet, have they? They've been talking about it a lot. I know it's a big work on for them. You talk to Alex Sanderson, you come up and watch them training. It is a focus, and they recognise, I think, it's one of the things they've got to bolt onto their game.
I think they bolted
genuine challenges.
They bolted it on last season in the sort of the last 5 or 6 rounds, and it really started to come together. And to be fair, it's freezing out there, so I'm not blaming anyone. It's not easy.
Is your jacket blinking red yet?
I haven't got the batteries in today.
Let's come up, play it away, let's come up.
Finn Russell for a Jomo, floats it out to
Stop,
Glanville.
12. Come out, thank you.
And the chase
Could
is
be
on
too
here
far,
for Thokinasinghe. That's going to roll all the way through the in goal. And that's a long way back. There's another man who's been in sparkling form, prolific form for Bath, as you can see. Tom de Glanville.
That scrum just came up, it's going to stay down.
See, here's a really good example of the new scrum half laws, where actually you can mess around with it a bit more, because on this side of the field it's almost impossible to come down the short side, especially with Bayliss there. There's no way someone's getting around Bayliss on the short side. He's way too quick. So as a 9 now, you can go to the back foot, provided you start at the point where he puts the ball in. You can go to the back foot of your own player and then stand directly opposite the first receiver, or stand even closer so you can go at the 8. Defensively, it really helps.
So far, we haven't seen
anyone do anything with it.
Any variety from the 9s defensively. It's interesting, isn't it?
Because you wasted stood there now. Schroeder stood there. Is pretty much doing nothing, really.
Makes sure we control.
So your 9s, like they normally stay in that position, don't they? But what they try and do is that you want to get them to first receiver, because off scrum, we can look at Bath now, they only have 3, they've got 4 in this instant players in that front line, because you've got to keep 2 back, because they've got to cover and respect the 50-22. I think this scrum just goes into the opposition half, but you still need 2 people to protect that kick in behind, so it gives you an opportunity to go wide. So if 9 can get to first receiver, then it means Finn Russell doesn't have to bite in, they can just keep one player out.
Well, the corner goes 1 man further as well, so it's much harder to get to the corner. Let's see if he does anything. And if not, why not?
In she goes from War, out to a little earlier than expected. Addison to Rob Dupree, Reed, and now a little bit of width. O'Flaherty over the top, chase back for Thokinasinghe. And a chance here as he straightens. Strong defensive effort. Sam Dugdale right in there. Quick, smart. Russell. Such a late delivery. Will Butt was waiting and waiting and waiting, and then spilt it.
Well, that's what Sale want. We're seeing those double shots come in now in defence. They probably want Bath to play from deep. They set up well, another 2-man tackle. Finn probably just pushing that one just a little bit too much, but maybe when you do play into the wind, the game plan is often to keep the ball in hand a little bit more. That might be the game plan from Bath. They want to play out a little bit more often than going straight to boot. But I think that's why Sale want this win behind them first half. Force teams to play and be assertive in defence.
My left, please, Gus. Crow! Bind! Set! Hold!
Schroeder, I thought he was going to stand behind the back foot. He has moved up. And that's a strong penalty to the Sharks.
1 out and in.
One against Beno Obano. Alleged to have been scrummaging in on the angle.
Let's just look back, Ali, at what I meant before about what the scrum half can do and what the effect is defensively. So Schroeder there on the short side now can come all the way and stand there if he wants. And look what it does defensively. If he can get to the first man all stood in front of him, you've now got 4 guys connected. Normally the 4 is where the corner is. He's under all the pressure of Jomo, but because he got the extra man, you've got 1 more on the outside. And look how much more difficult it is for Reed to get round that corner, even with his pace. So defensively, it's really beneficial to get your scrum half, only if the short side's small enough. If it's too big, you've probably got to leave him there because you don't want your back rower looking after, if it's Rafi Quirk, a very fast 9. So get him around the corner, make the extra man, and defensively stop the opposition. We'll see a lot of that in the Six Nations, I think.
This one's flown wide from Rob Dupree.
See a happy medium for there, Oz. I think if you could have, like say, on the shallow blinds, and if a 9 could start on the boot, he can verbally out-talk the 9. If you're playing 9 and the opposition 9's in the boot and he's saying he's got 9 picking down the blind side and he knows there's a blindside flanker as well,
yeah.
if you silly start in the boot and then
He's
when they do
think
play,
about
you've got a bit more time to try and get to that first receiver, like you say.
Oh dear, Schroeder's made an absolute mess of that, and he's handed the field position straight over to the home side. Oh dear Lord. It didn't look good in real time, it looks even worse in slow-mo, poor bloke.
You stepped out and then you drove across. I'm coming this side, this way. Let's go, then, that's blue. Come on, let's go.
Oh, what a chance now for Sale. Scrum bang in the middle of the field on the 22. Options left and right. They're going to keep the defences guessing here. Got Carpenter stationed directly behind Rob du Preez. O'Flaherty, the single man hugging that right-hand touchline.
Crouch!
Just watching defensively what Bath are going to do. You're just seeing Russell moving across. If you see the 10 move, more often than not, if you can get a right shoulder, you're going to end up going down that far side. Look at them, they're all edging that way. Here they go, let's go picking off man. Just didn't work, did it? Defensively, Bath were good there.
Carpenter, who was on that short line right on the shoulder, is taking a long time to get up. Van Rijn now on the carry.
No!
The penalty going against Bath.
13's got to release first. 13's got to release first.
It's Max Ajomo. So a couple of penalties in quick succession.
Yeah, it's good. Okay. Numbers? How many? Six
Making
man.
enough of an effort to move out of the way by the look of things.
Sale scoring 17 tries off first phase, so it's a good position for them. This is what they want inside the 22. You imagine Bath have done a lot of first phase research watching Sale this week.
Clear on the floor.
Hiron Andrews, the South African, reaching up to gather it in.
Okay, use it now, please.
The drive has been halted. Here's Marcy White, and Ajomo goes really low.
Ball's out.
Bath waiting and anticipating this punishing run from Dugdale. Look at the way Reid has driven his way through defensively there. War. Du Preez, Maasi White. Again, some strong defensive work from Ajomo. Here's Du Preez again. Up to within 5 metres. McIntyre feeds it back. Here's Dugdale, holds it back nicely. Du Preez to Reid. Here's the finisher. Brilliant. Took a bit of doing. But you have to admire this guy's footwork and nose for the line. It's special.
Oz was just saying how he loves it when he watches Sale spread the ball a bit wide. They've been powering up off 9, but it's this ball out the back from Du Preez. Nice short line outside him as well, which ties in the Bath defence. They play that one ball out the back. Du Preez is probably someone you think is going to tuck it up and carry forwards. Just that lovely subtle ball out the back. Don't think the Bath players expected that one. And he knows he's done a good job there.
Well, you can understand why Gregor Townsend wants him as part of his Six Nations squad. One of the smallest guys on the pitch, but my word, he is lightning fast, and those feet so often bamboozling defenders, as he did Joe Thokanasiga there.
You can't blame Thokanasiga though, because what you've got to do defensively in this position is stay in the fight, and Thokanasiga does. Look at the difference, right? Look at De Glanville, one there, and Thokanasiga two. De Glanville knows he's not going to get there, but he doesn't do anything. He just jumps in the air like a jack in the box. If he doesn't do that and gets back on the inside, there's no space to step. So defensively, you've got to stay in the fight, because you know when Reid gets the ball, he's got electric feet, and you can't leave him to one man.
Was that an early gamble on the intercept, potentially?
It is, yeah, but when you're that far out, you've got to recognise, I'm not on a springboard, I'm not going to get there. I don't blame Thokanasiga for that step. It's not his fault. He worked to cover the space. He got there. He just got stepped. The inside cover should have looked after it for him.
Don't go in, don't go in. Don't go in.
So the Sharks 5 points up. A reminder that they are unbeaten in the Premiership at home, the only team that can say that.
Use it, please.
In fact, they've won 25 of their last 27 here in the Premiership.
I agree.
It's a staggering record, and of course, under Alex Sanderson, they've only lost 5 times here in the league in all that time. From January 2021, when he first took charge 4 long years ago.
Okay, use it now, please. Patient. No, you're further forward.
Screwed Bayliss waits, in comes Carpenter, and does well. Smashed in the tackle by Annett.
You just wouldn't want to be a fullback anymore, would you? I mean, it's got to be the worst position on the pitch. High ball, and you can see their eyes as well, which makes it worse.
Thanks. Retreat.
There's to Glanville, it's a scruffy old kick.
No, play on.
Gus Ward did well.
No, off the chest.
Cross comes Russell, anticipated that really nicely.
Stay.
With a late collision with Gus Ward, it's found Rob Dupree.
Retreat.
So looking for a 50-22.
Great kick. Needs the bounce.
Oh, it's just tucked itself to the right rather than to the left. And the clearance job is ultimately done by Rory McConaughey.
They're winning the field position, aren't they? Currently, I know that Bath are into a really strong wind, and it's an interesting one as a captain nowadays. I always used to love playing into the wind first half. Hated playing with the wind if we lost the toss. I don't know how you felt. I mean, you're probably captained a few more times than I did.
Whenever there was a captain who was a front row, they always played to go with the wind. So then at least they could say when they went off at 50 minutes, well, the team was in the lead while I was playing.
Careful calculations. Marcy White's strong running centre, brought down by Barbary. And Jean-Luc Dupree. Inside ball from Dugdale, it's wound up with him again.
Back off the ball. By 2, I've got it.
Bath have given up the penalty
Only.
for Aaron Reid's challenge, or the challenge on Reid. This is Carpenter. Lovely work.
No advantage.
Couldn't quite get it away, Jean-Luc Dupree.
I know, but tackle off the ball. Over here.
There's the ball back on the inside. They try and fake it.
Tackle off the ball by 2.
And it's always got his head down, hasn't he? Can't see him. He's just expecting him to come into the channel. He does, but he hasn't got the ball.
I know you thought he had the ball. He doesn't have the ball.
It's another one of those, isn't it? When you're only 20 metres out from your try line, you kind of need to just make that hit in case, don't you?
Well, I think you should.
Unfortunately,
your eyes should never, ever be looking at the floor, ever.
Huh? Really?
Straight through this time, and Sale extend their lead to 8 after 23 minutes.
It's been a very impressive start from Sale, hasn't it, in the conditions when you think about it. The players that they've lost over there in Girona, holding bags that maybe could have been back here playing.
Well, it's a sort of wider discussion, isn't it, about the place that this weekend occupies in the calendar. 1 week out from the Six Nations Championship, and as you mentioned, Austin, it's all very well for the kind of starters or the 23, but in order to have a proper training session, you need a whole load of other bodies. But actually, the clubs are the ones that suffer. But they all signed up to the professional game partnership. They knew it was coming,
especially at a time when you see how the league status is. 4 or 5 points makes a huge difference now with the running.
Advantage offside.
Scrudder. Oh, he slipped the net here. To within 5. Miles Reid drives it on for Bath. Bayliss has it. Tries to work his way through the middle. He's done a good job too. Couple of metres away. Players assembling left and right. Urbano trying to escape the clutches of Ernst van Rijn and others. They've got a penalty advantage here, Bath. Have to make this pay. Scröder, any number of options to the left. They put width on it through Russell and they get into the corner.
So
Thanks to Rory McConaughey.
Number 9 rolled the ball back with his hand.
The tackle ultimately, we think, in vain from Tom O'Flaherty, and Bath are on the board.
So that's where Finn, I think, comes into his own. Bath were carrying off 9. Thomas du Toit is so good in that area. Just having a look at Gus Wall rolling this back with his hand. I'm not sure if that's out. Thomas du Toit deems it out, and anyway, it's play on. Schroeder does well to get through, but Finn just wants to strike now. Give him the ball now. Nice missed 2 pass. Isn't just relentlessly asking his forwards to go off 9. He sees they have an overlap and he backs himself.
Tries all good, Carl.
Thanks, mate. No problem. Thanks.
Not this time. Sale 8, Bath 5, McConaughey.
Well, that's a really good finish, isn't it? But mainly because of Schroeder's pass. Look how long it is. It's a good 16, 17 metres, like you said. Russell gets in that position, which means there's only 2 defenders left. Everyone on the inside's gone defensively. It's really clever play near the line and almost impossible to stop. There's 5 defenders there covering 25 metres. Normally, that's enough.
Okay, just hold. Time's
But if you take them all out with a bullet pass from the base, it's easy for the winger to hold his space.
Rory McConaughey, who's he's not actually had a great deal of rugby this season, as we see the end for Wilgriff John by the look of things here.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Sale, disappointing end after just 26 minutes, and particularly with Wales' duty in mind. They're up against the French next Friday night on the opening game, and this appears to be where he's done himself a mischief. In the meantime,
okay, use it, please.
we have a Premiership debutant on the field in his place in Ty Raymond. That is a head injury assessment, we understand.
Use it, please.
So we'll check in on Wilgriff John in 10 minutes time or so. The ball is cleared beyond the 22-metre line. Ty Raymond made his Sale debut in November in the Premiership Cup, but as a 19-year-old onto the tight head side for a workout against Beno Urbano. England at the moment producing props left, right and centre. He's the latest one off the ranks here from the Sharks Academy. To the tail, to Dupree. Slow but steady this from Sale. War, Addison, Dupree, Carpenter, O'Flaherty on the chase. O'Flaherty has it, took it brilliantly, full of intent. A metre out and diving through is Rob Dupree. Opportunistic stuff in the corner from the Sale captain, and Sharks looking sharp.
That's a lovely kick through from Carpenter. They don't get the go forward on the maul that they're hoping for. Quite slow to set up that maul, but they break out. Bath look in reasonable shape. Pass on the back, Carpenter puts it down the foot. It's the way he just kicks back up now. It kicks up lovely. Do well to recycle the ball, and Dupree just backs himself and goes right. McConaughey's ball watching a little bit of ruck time. He needs to sort of be a yard out from that. So he's sort of in no man's land now. Is he in the ruck? Is he on the side? He just needs to leave that ball alone. You're not going to win it. Just defend that blind side. Rob Dupree sees it.
Not curling in enough, isn't it? But what I really like about wide play at the minute is this skill set of putting the ball on the ground. When you know it's not on, you're numbered off 2-on-2, and he is here. The angle's got him, but it's such a good kick in behind. You put it exactly on the button, and it just enables O'Flaherty to get around the corner and advance onto the ball. That's so much easier for the attacking player, but like you said, McConaughey there, he's got to step off or get in position, get his hand on the floor. Might not stop it, but put yourself in a position to try. We're seeing so much more skill in the wide channels now from wingers and back three players. It's great to see.
He's had another excellent season, Joe Carpenter. Went on the England tour of Japan and New Zealand last summer. Didn't manage to get on the field for a full England cap, but he's knocking on the door. And if you're looking for players who are kind of
fresh,
let's put it slightly more in the Furbank mould rather than the Stewart mould necessarily, although we're recognising the great strides Stewart has made in recent times with his attacking game, his distribution and all. Joe Carpenter will fall into that bracket for sure.
There's still a rumour mill flying around that Marcus Smith is going to play there in Dublin.
Here's Barbary.
Okay, stay.
Russell to the air. We'll have a word with the Bath Director of Rugby, Johan van Graan, in just a moment or two as we see the ball taken in by Carpenter. And again, he's keen to spread Sale's wings, so to speak, and let them loose on the counter. Dugdale wrapped up in the tackle, this time by Charlie Ewells.
Okay, use it, please. No.
Russell and McConaughey waiting for the delivery from Gus Warr. It's going to be short, well short of Russell. It's claimed by Reed, and Sale advance. Dupree to Addison.
Hold 9, stop. Just do that. Thanks.
Across comes McConaughey. Tricky bounce.
Come out. Thank you.
Really only one option available to him, and an excellent clearance, as it turns out. Let's have a word with Johan van Graan, Director of Rugby of Bath. Of course, Johan, your assessment of the opening half hour or so. They've taken the chances really well, Sale. You were very keen at the outset to limit their entries to the 22 advisedly, by the look of things.
Yeah, we struggled to exit 3 times. This left-hand corner here is very difficult to get out to. That's where the kickoff went. That's where Rob Dupree's ball went. So, you know, we're a bit against the wind in this first half. So we've just got to keep managing it and manage this left-hand corner better. Yeah,
we were talking about the conditions. Obviously, it does seem to be pretty firmly against your boys in the first 40 minutes. How much of a factor do you think it is playing?
Oh, look, you've got to make sure you stay in the game. It's an 80-minute game, and you've got to adapt to conditions. So we'll make sure that we do that across the game. This one will go right into the depth of the second half. So we've just got to make sure we stay in this fight, use our chances. We've had one opportunity and we finished that, but we need to exit better for the last 9 minutes in this half.
Thanks for your time, Johan. Appreciate it.
Ali.
Just that accuracy of execution, all important.
Here?
At all times, but particularly when being pinned
by
the elements as well.
Yeah.
So scrum time, first opportunity for Ty Raymond to get to grips with Beno Urbano in the front row. The absence of Will Griff-John, and a change for another head injury assessment. This one's for Charlie Ewells.
Time back on, please.
So Ross Maloney, with all his experience, comes on into that second row for Bath.
Here we go, got you, please. Thank you. Second. Crouch. Bind. Set.
Solid from the Bath scrum, a little bit of a nudge on, but the ball awkward for Schroeder. Russell with not quite as much time as he'd like. Here's a Jomo to Glanville. And McConaughey sets off after that at high speed, but the angle,
I thought Beno didn't do enough.
Doesn't afford him a great deal of opportunity.
I need him to be a little bit
It might look like a
squarer.
bit of a nothing kick, but given the conditions, that's not bad. You know, at least they've camped Sale now 30 yards to their line. I think it's important that you compete in the air. There's no point kicking out like this if you're not going to compete in the air. You've got to make it difficult and try and force errors from Sale Sharks now.
Knock on.
Good competition in the air.
Knock on at the line out.
Bayliss is putting himself about to very good effect this afternoon.
No, players on the wrong side.
Real terrier-like defender. Know about his skill set in the loose, ball in hand, the speed, but it's that aggression around the fringes too that make him so valuable.
Okay, use your hands to move the ball out of the way. Now use your feet, please. Use it, please. Okay, let's go. Finals over.
McConaughey feeds to Glanville. Senses little opportunity on that 10-metre line. Back to the shorter side they go. Maloney, Russell arriving late.
No, he's lying on the ball. 10 is lying on the ball.
Through goes Barbary. Scroder tries to chip over Dupree, who was very smartly onto that. To Glanville.
White retreat!
Hoops it long. Carpenter in space. What's on his mind? He's running directly into De Glanville and Reid. And Gus Ward tries to thread it into that corner. It falls for Aaron Reid, and then off the shin of Miles Reid and into touch inside the Bath 22, off the Bath flanker.
Sorry?
Very unfortunate sequence of events.
Thanks. To step off White, please. No, I don't think it was.
Shins everywhere.
I've just been confirmed. I didn't see it. I didn't see it. 7.
Miles Reid, the interim skipper, with Charlie Ewells off the field for his HIA at the moment.
Time back on then, please. Let's go, Blue. 7. Make sure you're inside the 22.
Ethan Kane then in this hefty breeze. Probably fix some of that up from our pitch side microphones. The wind intensifying seemingly. Maasi White on that hard line. Kane holds onto the ball. Wrapped up in the challenge by Annett. McIntyre.
Don't go back in.
Dupree targeting Thomas Dutoy. Not many try that. Funrain. Quiet patience here from Sale. In and around the ruck. Hiron Andrews the latest. And off the line they come again, Bath, as they look to contain another Sharks attack. Gus Ward slammed in the tackle. Great shot there from Will Butt, really stemming the flow. And the ball looks to be there to be won. Have they turned it over? Not in the eyes of Carl Dixon. The steal was good.
Time off.
But then there wasn't the release.
Good steal by 12, then restolen by 7. I think number 12's down.
It's a great shot from Will Butt. What I like when he's in that position, which is normally a forwards role, you see so many guys take their eyes off the player and they watch the ball. He just keeps his eyes on number 9. That's his role. If number 9's got that ball, you do not take your eyes off him. He's your man.
And then 7.
But Dugdale then wins it back again. So much good work from Bath.
There's something really clear. Obviously, he's injured, so it'll be checked in the background.
That's why I'm sure to stop for something.
And if we miss a knock on, I apologise.
Filtering through that Wilgriff John will not be rejoining us for the remainder of this contest, so Ty Raymond will stay on the field for Sale. And Josh Bayliss is the man down receiving treatment there.
Yeah, no, just checking. Yep.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know if you had the number right.
Out those 5 penalties, 3 of those are breakdown penalties against Bath. You probably just, if you had to say, I think Sale are just edging it physically. They were seeing Dupree carrying really well. A lot of the other forwards carrying well. Just got a slight edge. And when you've got an edge up front like that at ruck time, you normally do tend to infringe at breakdown just that little bit more.
So another penalty from just to the left of the posts. Bayliss trying to run off the injury at the moment.
Thank you very much.
Such anxious times for the players involved in the festival forthcoming over the next 7 weeks or so.
Okay, thanks, mate.
So keen to get off the field in club colours in one piece, as Rob Dupere drills 3 more points for the home side, and they lead by 16 points to 5. Bayliss is coming off.
Yeah.
That will mean, well, it'll mean 2 things: an anxious wait to discover the damage ahead of the Scotland campaign in the Six Nations, and the arrival of Ewan Richards. Just his 2nd Premiership outing this season. He's been the captain in the Premiership Cup campaign. 22 years old, highly rated. And of course, he's had to be very patient with the back row stocks that Bath have.
Tree
A chance
wide,
today.
come out.
De Glanville
Thank you.
looking to gather. Oh, just fingertips away. O'Flaherty.
Tackle, let go.
Rob Dupree sending his brother Jean-Luc right into the heart of it. And we are learning that that Bayliss injury is a permanent replacement. So we'll wait for an update or two on the injured parties. And in the meantime, a chance to remind you about the Premier League tonight. Fulham against Manchester United from 6 o'clock on TNT Sports 1. And don't forget the rugby review just before that at 5:15, straight after this, with Craig and Sam and Brian and Johnny Beattie with us, as well as we look back on round 11 and we look forward to the Six Nations Championship itself. And then the Premiership Rugby Cup returns next Sunday. Our featured match from the Rec, Bath against Bedford, 2:45 on TNT Sports 2 next Sunday.
Bind.
Into the red at the end of this first half. Sale in possession and Sale in control. War to Addison. Carpenter. Well handled by Louis Schroeder. Question really of how much more they want to play from this area of the field with half-time upon us.
Okay, use your foot. Use it, please.
You might suggest that one box kick and then maybe put it to bed. De Glanville goes up, Reed pulls forwards. It's knocked on by the Sharks, and that'll take us to half-time.
Number 11 got a hand to it, not today.
Maybe not, unless someone tells Carl what the time is.
Anyone looking at the clock?
Thanks, mate.
Anyone?
Let's go in white, let's go blue.
Carl, what time have you got?
Bueller.
There's 3 seconds left. Is that same as you?
Excuse me?
No, that's fine.
Is that same as you? No.
No, it's not.
Oh, we're going to scrum anyway.
Crouch! Bind!
Let me have it then.
I think we have a clock.
What?
Clock trouble. Might be an opening here for Bath if they can make something of it. Will Butt's intent on making sure that in time that doesn't exist, he's careering through the gain line. The inside ball for Ewan Richards. Lovely offload. Here's Stock and a Singer. Bath building here. Who knows what might be possible? Whipped away quickly. Miles Reed drives hard into the face of that Sale defence. Barbary is waiting. Fires it out for Finn Russell. Butt goes to ground. Abano through the middle. They've got an advantage. Eminently kickable.
No advantage.
Tough conditions, but right in front of the post. McConaughey breaks clear. Here's Rory McConaughey. And Bath striking at the end of this first half. Striking well beyond the end of this first half, seemingly. It'll be a score that might cause a stir.
Won't it just? Fabulous try from Bath. Going through the phases, Ajomo's initial little break on the outside.
So he's allowed to be
look.
and the Niners collateral damage
Great
as
little
part
pass.
Of the yeah, so you counter the
Clear
player in
out's
front of you
fine.
first,
Then they
you're
come
part
to the
of it.
short side, little shoulder ball, the acceleration through, beats the cover. It's a great score. Question is,
Good, Carl.
what's the time, Ali?
Well, I think that is a question that maybe people further up the food chain than me might have to answer. I'm not entirely sure.
Is there anyone higher up the food chain?
There's an awful lot of people further up the food chain, unfortunately. That is an excellent conversion as well from Finn Russell. And what a different picture this is. From 16 points to 5 up. At half-time now, Bath have dragged it back within 4. And the question mark over the timings, the timing of the match clock, the stadium clock, the clock in the bottom left-hand corner of our own monitors. Who knows what was going on? Either way, McConaughey struck twice and Bath are right in the mix. Half-time at the Salford Community Stadium, if I can remember its name. Sale 16, Bath 12. And I think we should start with a little moment to recognise that at least somebody had their eyes on the right clock at the right time, and that man was Carl Dixon. Just to clarify, stadium clock was correct, his clock was correct, our own graphic didn't quite fire in the way that they were supposed to. So there we are. It all made for a little bit of extra excitement anyway. So Carl Dixon's happy, and I think Bath are extra happy. McConaughey particularly so. He scored twice, and this game hanging in the balance. Ajomo on the gather.
Okay, use it now, please.
Bath now crucially playing with this significant wind.
And Sale already sat a back rower back behind Dugdale in the backfield. You'd have thought to carry into traffic now. Are they going to use him? No. Clear out then.
Tackle!
Carpenter keen to take it on himself. He's been driven on by his mate, and he's made good ground actually. McIntyre the provider now, and Hiron Andrews in the line, and Marcy White trying to get away. Playing with an advantage here. Sale. Bath have come offside. War to O'Flaherty. Being held by Will Butt, but again driven onwards. And taken through the middle by Dupree. Raymond. Onto the field, remember, for Wilgriff John, whose failed HIA means that he will not be able to play a part in the opening Wales fixture against France in the Six Nations.
3 offside.
Rob Dupree, a little dab forwards, and across comes Russell.
You can't use the wind at your back if you haven't got the ball, can you? So it's a really good start from Sale. Going through the phases, looking after possession, but playing with pace as well. It's one thing just trying to do that and look after the pill, but the ultimate goal's got to be to make ground, otherwise you end up getting smashed. It was a good start to the half from them.
I wonder what those final words from Alex Sanderson will have been at half-time. They all know the critical nature of this fixture. Win here today, and they will have a much more comfortable 2 months, you would think. While the Premiership takes a break, Bath trying to launch something from deep inside their 22, and Falconer Singer is escaping the challenge of Aaron Reid.
Stepping inside.
Through the middle goes Barbary. He's got it away to Schroeder, but that's gone forwards, and
still knock on.
Sale scramble back.
Good steal.
And they'll take the put into the scrum a little bit nearer to the 22-metre line.
Change in direction. I've got nothing clear. Okay.
You warming up yet, Austin?
I've just got a knock on.
No. I think I've been to Sale about 100 times. This is probably the coldest I've ever been.
I don't know.
Hey, Carl, I'm just having a look at that by 8 blue, yep.
Look, for me, for live, I got him stepping it in really low. That's all I have.
This might be a head-on-head here. Falconer Singer, was it, when he steps?
Okay, I got it. Be a penalty only due to the change of direction, okay?
Yeah, agreed, Carl, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 8 blue, yep.
It's going to be a penalty, lads, for head contact, change of direction, just a penalty for head. Yeah. Okay. Just be penalty for head contact, by I think by 8. Okay.
So instead of a Sale scrum, it's a Bath penalty.
Was that first time to be offside, 20?
I think so, yes.
They got away with that one, Bath. Their first exit in their second half was a direct mirror image of what Johan van Graan said during his interview in the first half. They sort of pinned back in that corner, but they got a nice 50-60 metre clearance. That time they probably did go off script, knock on, but just got out of jail there with a penalty.
Touch not found. Carpenter instead found. There's Raymond, 19-year-old.
He's carried well, hasn't he, those last 2 carries?
He looks keen for
Looks
it.
dynamic.
Okay, let go now.
De Glanville, eyes to the heavens, and through comes Reid.
Back off blue.
Reid's done enough. Once again, another little surge from Raymond. Rob Dupree for Hiron Andrews. Dugdale, Van Rijn, to that shorter side again.
Okay, tackle now, please.
Dupree, Addison, long-time servant of the club, floats it out for Tom O'Flaherty, but McConaughey was waiting.
Okay, use it, please.
That was an invitation to a party you don't want to go to. Dreadful pass for him to take. So long in the air.
Not for me.
Proper Jackal Ali.
There's that pass, look. Okay, I'm going to put my hands above my head so you can rearrange my rib cage. No, thanks.
No, I love this one because Barbie actually survives. Too good at attempt to clean out. Sometimes the Jackal win is because the attack get isolated, but two big sail forwards going right at him, does not budge. That's a proper Jackal.
Okay.
Johnny Hill
Time,
on to the fields, and he's going to be replacing Hiron Andrews.
Step out, Blue. Blue, step out. Step out.
Change in the second row then. Johnny Hill back in action now after that long ban for the incident at the Wreck in the Premiership semi-final. But hard and fast and flat, and setting this excellent field position up. Here's Niall Annett.
Long.
Sail just beginning to spread to that open side where Bath bodies are numbering up, and there's a hole, and he's gone right through it to Jomo, and he's clung on. He's clung on for long enough, just making it interesting.
The only thing to look at here is when he juggles, is the ball touched by a Sale player before he regathers it? If it is, it's a knock-on. If it's not, it's a try. And he's bamboozled everyone, including himself.
Just check he hasn't fumbled it into him.
Here's the original carry. They make so much ground, but that's what I love about a big centre like that. Gets in behind, and the second phase is easy. This pass is gorgeous from Russell, isn't it? Through. Now he juggles. They want to look at that closely. That is a difficult one. He's done so well. That's such a good pass. He's lost control. Does it touch his shoulder? Does it touch O'Flaherty's shoulder? Because if it does, it's a knock-on.
Still just checking it, Carl, yeah.
Thanks, mate.
Well, Russell bangs over the two, and Bath move in front. Peter Allen, our TMO, keen to see this one more time.
Does it touch his shoulder? I think it does. But I'm not sure.
Carl. Just give me 1 second.
Okay.
I think it touched his shoulder.
Hold. Just 2 minutes, 1 more second. Just let me know if you need to spill 4 more, Pete. Yeah, a couple more seconds.
Yeah, Carl, I think we just need to have a look at this. Just slow it down. Just do it formally, yeah.
So we're just checking whether the ball touches the blue player, which enables the white player to regather the ball. That's correct, right?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so...
It kind of looks like the regathering and the shoulder contact are instantaneous.
Well, he's lost control, we know that.
Yeah, Carl, the angle from behind's the best one.
It's a tough decision for the officials. Lost control, hasn't got control, hasn't got control, hasn't got...
So he just makes contact just before he regathers, so it
So
does come off
blue shoulder
Yeah,
makes contact with the ball, which allows white to regather.
that's correct, yeah.
Okay,
so
so it's a knock-on by
yeah.
white. Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
No try.
It's
Knock-on.
chalked off.
Sorry, Bath fans, who are now currently throwing things at TV and a picture of me on their dartboard at home.
The voodoo doll has been retrieved.
Look like the knee was a bit sore. Ow, and the neck.
Well, it's very popular in these parts. I'm not sure anybody saw that coming inside the stadium.
I'm pretty sure.
Those of a Sale Sharks persuasion, anyway.
Oz is sat here like a Cheshire cat now. That's a good spot. I didn't spot that. That's a good spot.
I'm not Sam, to be honest. I get used to it now. So.
Right, let's have a word from Alex Sanderson, the director of rugby for Sale. A hefty sigh of relief washing all around the stadium, Al, I imagine with you too.
I've always maintained Austin Early as one of the better in the game in terms of spotting inconsequential things that have big ramifications on the outcome.
We don't need any more of that kind of chat from you. Tell us your assessment of where we are. Clearly where you are right now, you need to be getting rid quite quickly.
Well, yeah, yes we do. There's a young lad against a very experienced lad on our tight head to Barno on the loose head. Got a couple of get out of jail frees, 2 of them actually, was in the last 5 minutes. We need to anchor on the right hand side of the scrum, clearly, get the ball out the scrum and play away when we can. We need to up our physicality in the first 3 phases. That was the last try just before half time, and clearly on that one, you know, it's a bit of a walk in that because we're not muscling up. The ball's too quick on that kind of 3rd, 4th phase when Finn Russell's got it on a plate. So a couple of areas that we need to beef up on. But I think in terms of some of the decision making, we play the game largely in the right areas, and Aaron Reid's competing really well on the left. So, you know, keep leaning into that. I'd like us to have a go at them up front as well. We haven't really tested them all yet, so maybe that's something to look forward to if the weather sets in.
Oh, the way Bath attack, the way they've been so ruthless inside opposition 22s, are you kind of treating that line effectively as your try line today?
Slightly different mentality. You know, they're very creative from their 10 to the opposition 22, and that's the kind of change of direction plays that you'll see with Finn Russell. Some of those kind of flat kicks that he puts from left to right. You know, that's particularly why we're looking to play more down the left-hand side, take that attacking weapon away from him. In the 22, far more physical, far more direct, more kind of one-out rugby, pick and go and tanks and stuff. So you can really narrow your focus in terms of just looking to win those collisions. But outside, more about connecting, watching the ball, and have to do it multi-phase.
And just quickly, Al, a brief word on Ty Raymond. We're enjoying his debut. He's looked lively in the loose. Tell us a little bit about him.
Well, he's one of them, like, you know, when we went on this kind of prop idol search, he has got fast twitch. Like, he's got the standing highest jump out of any player that we've got on the books, like anyone. You know, and that for a 120 kilogram tight head is saying something. So, yeah, you know, he's going to grow into his body in terms of his core, scrummaging wise. But when he's carrying, he's nothing. He's anything but, you know, dynamic, like super dynamic. So I'm glad he's got the ball in his hands. I get some confidence from that. He's going to be one to watch, you know, in behind Asher, Poku for Joe.
Yeah, exciting times. Thanks so much for your time.
No, cheers, Ali. Thanks, mate.
That is impressive, Ali, to hear that. And I'm a massive advocate of that, for, you know, trying to find athletes in that front 5. I think that's one of the best teams in the world. They have front 5 players who can ball carry because they're explosive, because they're good athletes. And to have the highest standing jump as a prop, that's almost unheard of. That just shows the explosive nature of him. We've seen it. 5 good carries already since he's been on the pitch. That's just the second half alone. Impressive man.
Prop idol is not something I'd look forward to in particular. I don't know about you two, but I've had a spare weekend and got offered a ticket to Prop Idol. I'd probably give it a swerve.
I'm not sure you're the target audience, if I'm really honest with you.
Can you imagine trying to sell that to Simon Cowell?
Well, it's a little niche, I'll grant you, but at the moment, England do have a plethora of young props who are very, very exciting, who are just beginning to make their presences felt on the bigger stages.
And Raymond is 19, Ali. That is a hell of a shift just to be 19, just in this environment alone.
So a penalty here to Bath, which is compounding a rather sorry last couple of minutes from the Sale Sharks, having kicked it dead from their own penalty in this position. Just a moment or two ago, no doubt the wind playing its part, but as a result of all of that, Finn Russell sticks Bath back inside the opposition 22. As we know, an excellent record in the red zone. Become more and more ruthless in this area. Miles Reid carries it on. Annette to Dutoy, offering so much in the loose as well as the tight. Reid again, skipping away from the defenders and keeping those legs going. Driven on now by Barbary. It's impressive, this from Bath. Carry by carry. Ewan Richards tucks and drives. Urbano now. Again, just able to use a tiny bit of footwork to work through a very congested area. Reed again, that must be his third carry in the last 90 seconds or so, less probably. Ewells, over the top goes Dugdale, he very nearly had it. Here's Dutoy again, battering his way into McIntyre. Dugdale there for one more tackle.
Don't go over the top.
Still they keep it tight, they've not moved more than a couple of metres away from the ruck. Here's Richards, brought down by Addison, popped out for Ewells again. Sale digging really deep here defensively. You get the feeling it might not be long before the Bath back division have another crack. Barbary in the meantime wants to go.
The toy looks like he's injured. He's trying to get away from the contact area, which is unlike him in the red zone.
Richards on the carry, good support in behind him as well. Dupree trying to fold his body around the tackled player. Annett now lines up some helpers. Urbano is there. Pick and drive, pick and drive. Barbary. 1 metre short here, Bath. Out it comes. Russell swings it as wide as he can. And Thokinasinger combines nicely with Ajomo. Powerful work from Ajomo. 20 phases, tight to the ruck. Hard to the gain line, and then the width and the combination and the chemistry between Thokinasinger and Ajomo getting it done finally.
Hit his shoulder, technically, have used his
They were
shoulder.
slowly creeping forward with it. I thought Sale defended really well. Reed gets up in that passing lane and does quite well to get Thokinasinger, but here Sale have got to do better. 2 players v1, they actually covered it man for man. They did really well. They rushed up off their line, took a gamble, but Gus Moore struggles to stop Ajomo there. Good power to get over the line, and the forwards did a lot of the damage. Just that last man tackle there needs to be better.
It's lovely play from Thokinasinger, isn't it?
I've heard about it is now.
He knows that the pass is dying on him, so he goes back to the ball and goes and gets it.
If you find anything clear. Assume it's in the pick and go series.
He's kicked
That's
it
good.
as well.
It's really good. Bath in front.
You've got to give him credit, Thokinasinger in this, and Ajomo as well, because they know exactly what they want to do. He knows that the pass is dying on him, so he moves back towards the ball instead of waiting for it. He'll get there, but he goes and takes it high, jumps, then he spins in the tackle. He knows where the support play is going to be, can see the space, takes some finishing still with a lot of power, but that tries all about the strength, the size of Thokinasinger, his ability to ride a tackle that he knows is coming at pace.
50th Premiership appearance today for Max Ajomo, and a try finally here at the Salford Community Stadium, having been denied some moments before.
Carl, there's no foul
so
play.
Thomas Dutoy
so have we got a reserve on
coming off the field, and talking about prop idol, here's another of those who's really bursting through at the moment. Vilakesa Sailor, Billy Sailor, 19 years old, like Ty Raymond, and extremely highly rated. People very excited about his potential. Star of the England under-20 setup, of course.
Could do with some more good tight heads, couldn't they, By? Archie Griffin as well, we haven't seen for a while.
Yeah, Will Stewart, of course, away with England at the moment. They've got a decent stable.
To be fair, Thomas Dutoy is not that good, is he? Only the best player in the league.
Nice step from Carpenter. Thokinasinger fell for that, and still on his feet, Carpenter. Into the 22, and away it comes. Van Rijn links nicely. Dupree to Dupree, and then forwards at the crucial moment from Will Addison, who bangs the floor in frustration.
That's great work from Carpenter. Such good footwork, gets past Reed, which is no mean feat, and then they get into really good shape from here, Sale. Dupree keeps it alive really nicely here. You think he's going to carry up, but he pulls out the back again. You just felt they could stick onto that ball for 1 or 2 more phases. Something could have come from that.
Yeah, I just thought you slipped on the last one.
Well, he's such a high-class player, Will Addison. always just looks to have a little bit of extra time on the ball, and he's a frustrated man.
Really
interesting stat that though, isn't it? Bath have only conceded 6 tries in the second half. It's a big gap to Sale in second place, and it's opportunities like that that Sale are going to have to take. They won't get that many. They're into the elements. It's going to be tough. Anytime they get a turnover, they're going to find themselves back 30 or 40 metres further than they would have normally. So they're going to have to work themselves through field position. So if they get 2 or 3 opportunities more in this half, you've got to think if they're going to go on to win this game, which would be an amazing achievement in the circumstances, they're going to have to take those chances.
Change at scrum half for Bath. Tom Carr-Smith has come on for Louis Schroeder.
Bind! Set! Hold! I've got nothing. It's coming across. Stay in, stay in. Okay, hold. Thank you.
Russell's clearance. Flaherty.
Okay, retreat, Sale,
A little bit
retreat.
of chat with Carpenter to time his run, but the kick, low trajectory, finding Russell, who returns it in kind.
Take him back in the 22. Okay, walk it back, walk it. Keep walking. Thanks. Walk back.
Let that go, don't you? Let it go and see if it gets an extra bounce.
All the way through. With the wind.
It's always a danger if you kick straight down the field with the wind at your back. You're always coached to kick diagonally, kick towards the touchline. Otherwise, this sort of thing happens and you just swap that wind territory benefit and give it to the opposition.
Yeah, that was from his own 10-metre line as well. So that is full 60 metres.
When that left his foot, there's no way in his mind he thought it was going to go dead. Didn't kick it that hard.
I thought he might have had a crack at the 50-22 in the far corner, actually, on the angle. There was a little bit of space there, but he went down the middle.
Let's go. Seconds. Yes. Crouch. Bind. Stay. Hold. Stay up. Stay up.
Rob Dupree moving
Going nowhere.
to the shorter side. The ball isn't there though for Gus Moore. It's gone through 90.
Just going to ask Sam, actually, when Raymond's been under a lot of pressure in those previous 3 scrums, in that one, actually, he was doing pretty well, but was that because the ref was stood right in front of Abano?
1, 2,
So, I mean, what do you do there? If you're the captain and you know your tight head is getting absolutely hammered, well, not absolutely hammered, he's a young man, he needs more experience. What can you do? Encourage the ref to come over?
You probably don't want the ref that too close, to be honest, because they can see every little thing, where they're binding, who pulls it down with their elbow first. And as a 7, if you're on there, you're not really thinking about breaking off at all. Your back row can often be guilty of breaking off. You have to make sure that all 8 stay in the scrum. No one gets distracted with what the opposition are doing, trying to break off early. You have to stay in that fight. But you're just giving cues. Stay square, chase your feet, making sure that you do everything right, not switching off. So Dupree here has to give him absolutely everything he can. He's got a big back 5 behind him. He needs it all.
He's got a new opponent opposite him in Francois Van Veek. He's come on for Beno Abano. Tom Dunn at hooker for Annett as well. And the free kick is thumped forwards, and Tom O'Flaherty's gaining fast. It's an excellent kick.
Free engage. Far side.
It's a big win, Ali, when you consider Bath had a scrum on the 22 2 minutes ago. Long kick, scrum free kick. Great position for Sale to put pressure on them.
Pressure on the Dunn throw, and he's done an excellent job finding Ewells and Barbary in the midfield. Upended by Dupree. A request from Carl Dixon to just have a
that's fine, Carl.
A little look at those tackles that saw Barbary taken out. It was legal, and Carr-Smith sends it on its way. It's hugging the touchline. Oh, it's bounced remarkably for the double try scorer, McConaughey.
Play it, play it, play it. No, no. Play it, ball
Quick
came
footwork
away.
from Ewan Richards. Makes it to the 10-metre line. Russell surrounded by blue shirts.
It's no advantage.
Carpenter. A lot of space back there. And oh, it's gone straight into touch. Just got his angles fractionally wrong. So the kicking game letting each side down in turn at the moment.
I don't know why no one does it anymore, but remember Ronan O'Gara in the backfield? He'd take the ball and he'd put that low spiral in. I mean, the number of 50-22s that guy would have got would have been off the charts.
That's a very fair point.
Hey, White.
You don't see it. Guys always toe over toe. I know the ball's slightly different with the chip in it, but...
Barbary off, Kutsia on in the back row. That's just trying to eliminate the variables of the spiral, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kicking off the outside edge of the boot. It's become a much more safe option, isn't it, to kick it end over end wherever possible.
Great turnover that. Oh. Sam will want to see that again.
Oh, I definitely do. That's a hard one to call. I mean, we get the luxury, you can see it in slow-mo second time round. No, I think he's right. He gets that. That's a good call. I mean, a few years ago, you get away with that. That's a really good call from Carl Dixon. So he doesn't make an obvious release there. You get away with that years ago, but
it's one arm only, isn't it?
Yeah. Left hand doesn't leave.
Got to be visibly showing both arms clear, haven't you, to assist with that decision making. And it's allowed for a penalty from directly in front of the post, some 38 metres out for Finn Russell. Quality from Russell, the first man to break the 100-point barrier in the Gallagher Premiership this season, and he's dragging Bath further clear. 22 points to 16, 18 minutes remaining.
Ball, please. Time off.
A gentle reminder for those of you who don't watch Sale every week of their remarkable home record, unbeaten in the league here this season. It is somewhere that has become especially difficult to find a victory as an away side. It
is a good time for Bath to play Sale, though, wouldn't it? You know, obviously missing the Curry brothers, full front row gone as well to England. Roebuck in the back line, Rafi Quirk's been called up as well. So there's a lot of big players missing from Sale. If you do want them on a weekend up here, it's probably going to be this one. And Bath in comparison, Finn Russell's still around, Bayliss was around to start the game, being Scottish, obviously didn't get released to their squad. Only missing then Will Stewart, Ted Hill,
Spencer.
Ollie Lawrence too, but you're right, that's right. It's relatively limited damage for Bath, and of course you've got to factor in their extraordinary squad.
Yeah, if you saw that back line in Bath's team at any part of the season, you'd think it was pretty strong, wouldn't you?
Dugdale working hard to feed the ball back to Gus Waugh. Addison, lovely footwork. Just good to see him back on the field. Will Addison playing regular rugby, the injury setbacks he has had to put up with, almost 2 years out of the game. Trouble and subsequently a broken leg as well. Dan Dupree driving hard into the heart of that Bath defence, and this is looking promising from the Sharks. Addison again, lovely line. Excellent offloading as well from Bamba, and they're flooding inside that 22 now.
Don't play him.
Quick ball would be interesting. Instead, another extravagant bit of work from Bamba. Onwards.
No 7. Don't go in, don't go in.
Waugh to Marcy White, hasn't really been afforded the space that he would have liked. They carry it up again, and Jean-Luc Dupré loses it at the all-important moment. It had looked so strong, and my apologies to Johnny Hill, because it was he who came up with both of those flash moments between the 10-metre line and the 22 that put them in this position. Ben Bamba arriving now. Never wrong for long, Austin, I think you'll find.
Here we go. Let's go, lads.
And some
I thought he got back to his feet and then he was dragged over. That's what I thought.
To allow for the big man's arrival, former rugby league man.
3-18. Let's go, come blue.
And Thomas du Toit is returning. So short-lived appearance for Billy Seller. 15 minutes to play, 6 points in it.
Yeah.
And the HIA
Keep
pass
space,
by
please.
the South African tight head.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
The full-scale penalty awarded here to Bath.
Offside. 18 straight to floor.
It's a difficult one for Ty Raymond to stomach. It's just let Bath off the hook. And the clearance is strong. Raymond on this near side, just got long in the legs. Sam, would you go along with that?
Yeah, when the feet go back, it normally is because they sort of overextended and there's no flexion left in the knee. So when you're straight-legged, you tend to sort of lose that footing.
That's not remotely straight from Tom Dunn.
Not straight, and a competition.
There was competition in the air, so
scrum line.
That's allowed for the whistle of Carl Dixon. Austin.
Just want to know why Bath are so good this season. Not only their attacking game, but in the red zone, their defence is brilliant. There's their defensive line, that's the gain line. But look at the tackle technique. One guy goes out, he drops his height really quickly, stops the tackle dead. They don't make any post-meter contact. If anything, they lose 2 metres. And that means the next defensive line is forward, so everyone's constantly moving forward. They squeeze sides out of their red zone time and time again. Even sides that are historically very good carriers like Sale. Although Sale, are, which you wouldn't expect actually, reading the stats before the game, Sale really low on post-contact meters, the worst in the league. A stat I didn't really expect at this time of the year.
It's extraordinary. The post-contact meters and the fewest dominant carries, which is another thing that you do very much associate with them. This is pretty dominant from Ben Bamba. And fired away by Nye Thomas, who's come on at scrum half for Gus Waugh. Another powerful surge from Dupré. McIntyre now. And Bath having to withstand plenty at the moment. Jaco Coetzee with that latest tackle. In comes Van Veek to do the same. Thomas to McIntyre through the arms of Dupré. Addison, very elusive, keeps the arms free, and McIntyre's on the shoulder. Kane. Bamba to Van Rijn. Dupré. Thomas. Good tackle made by Ewells. Addison riding that challenge. Probing that short side again. Kane! Oh, foot in touch. Certainly one, possibly two.
I think the reason why Sale probably are low on the post-contact meters is that out of all the sides, they've got this element of how tough they are, and they are a tough side, but they send one-off guys more than any other side. There's very rarely deception on their phase carry. So each forward is lined up, and he's lined up by 2 other forwards who are all also relative psychopaths, and they're happy to smash you. And if you give someone the ball with no support or no deception, no change of line, guess what happens? You get smashed. There you go, post-contact meters, low today as well. Stat for a bunch of forwards that you would not expect.
Okay, stay here.
Flaherty. Brought down by Dutoit. Marcy White. Just overrun that.
Double knock on or one only? Okay,
There's plenty to do here for Carpenter. Miles Reed trying to effect the rip, but a knock on by each.
Then White.
And it's going to be
then White.
a Bath scrum off the back of it.
Good kick chase from Bath.
Yeah, no saying. Okay, let's go then, let's go.
Lots more coming across TNT Sports later this evening. The Premier League taking centre stage, of course, at 6 o'clock. Fulham against Manchester United on TNT Sports 1, and the rugby review, which will follow this match here, 5:15 for that one, or the round-up of round 11 of the Gallagher Premiership. A little look ahead to the Six Nations Championship as well. Next Sunday, we're at the Rec for Bath against Bedford in the Premiership Rugby Cup, as the Cup takes over from the league. Suspect a very different lineup for Bath in that one. Andy Robinson will take charge of the side. Johan van Graan saying he's off back to South Africa just for a few days to take stock, a little bit of planning for what's coming ahead, the end of March and onwards. Going to be a frantic few weeks for sure, an exciting few weeks as well. It'll feel that much better if they can close this out from here. 10 minutes to play. Ewan Richards gathers it in. Maloney banged over. Russell to the line, frees the arms up, and Jomo's reading that beautifully. Ewells buffeted. McConaughey to the boots. Not the most effective.
Mate, you've gone straight into elbows. Straight into elbows. Got to be on your feet. Okay.
Here's an interesting one. Most tries scored in the final 20 minutes. Bath 19. You wonder now, with these last 10 minutes, is this a time when they turn the screw? Impact from their bench, obviously having a good depth of squad.
Time's off.
One more would certainly do the trick, you feel.
Okay, time back on, let's go. Let's go.
One more prop onto the field. Tumi Onasanya. Tyg McElroy at hooker as well. So the bench is deployed almost in their entirety now. Still yet to see a couple of the sail backs, but this kick is being held up in the wind, and it's been claimed by Marcy White. Now then, there's something on here. Addison flattened, though, very effectively by Max Jomo.
Clearly not supporting your body weight.
Penalty against Bath.
Russell does well here. From here, Russell gets through. Good hustle from himself. Reed goes onto the ball. He does look slightly negative, doesn't he? If he takes his arms away, he's not going to be able to stand up by himself. That's always how you dictate whether they're on their feet or not. Take their arms away. What happens? Then they fall over. And that did look slightly negative in that position. Gets in well, beats the ruck. He knows he's just gone over just that little bit too much.
Looks like Jean-Luc Dupré receiving some treatment on the Sale 10-metre line. They are just exceptional for this club, aren't they? Every single week, but particularly in a down week like this with so many internationals away, to have three Dupré brothers to call upon.
I know. Well,
priceless.
He just dived straight over the top of the ruck. I don't think there was anything that
there's no
untoward.
fault in
He just ended up diving straight over the top and missing the ruck in some ways. Here he is in the back of the ruck, dives over it, bangs his head on the hip, does he?
I only had blue on the floor and so did my hair.
Yeah, top of his head on the hip.
Okay, maybe. But when there's a blue underneath it, it's very difficult. Okay. Ready? Wait for you to get set. Wait, just wait, just wait. Happy? Okay, time back on.
Excellent kick. Puts them right back in the picture. He's going to soldier on here as we see Maasi White making way for Sam Bedlow. Started plenty of Premiership matches this season, Bedlow. Very much a kind of like-for-like replacement. That one in the midfield. And here Rob du Preez sweeping this up. Nye Thomas whips it out. Carried on by Raymond. Du Preez. Van Veek driven off the ball. Jean-Luc du Preez rides that challenge from Ewells and gets through. And Sale building very nicely. Rob du Preez into the midfield. The ball suddenly arriving in the arms of Miles Reid unexpectedly.
Knock on.
Pressure from that defence. And
Time's over.
Russell toying with the defenders as he kicks it long. O'Flaherty.
Johnson, play on.
The kick blocked. Rob du Preez finds Van Rijn. Not too many supporters out wide. Climbing all over any sort of lack of urgency from Sale, driving them back behind the gain line. This has been a very significant bit of work defensively until Reid sides through, and he's got to go round Russell. He does that with some ease. Space on the outside, players blocking the channel. The ball's still loose.
He's knocked it on, hasn't he? He's knocked it on in the pickup, and they've got the turnover. Brilliant cover defence from Bath, because when that guy breaks through the middle, it's normally game over. Such a good inside ball. Spots the gap, goes through. At this point, I thought he might just go post-bound, but no, he turns. Oh, they played on, They're away.
Really deep in. Tom Carr-Smith is gathering. And he'll go under the sticks for Bath's bonus point. Out of nowhere. Sailor stung, and he was so quick on this chase.
Russell spots the space, doesn't he? Nobody reacts from Sale, apart from Carr-Smith. He's got the acceleration to run away from the cover and everyone. Quick question, is he onside? Is he behind him? I think he was.
I think they had a little glance at each other. They were just about the only two who were figuring out what was on here.
I love that, Ali. That's one of my favourite tries of the season.
Onside, Carl.
Not if you're a Sale fan, but the fact that everyone else is taking a breather. Look, people are on the floor. Oxygen.
That little glance between the two as well.
He's good, isn't he?
It's all good, Carl.
Thanks, mate.
Wow.
10
Turning
seconds.
pressure into pressure. That is how you do it. Carbon copy. Love that.
And that's the game, surely. Two more added from the Russell boot, who began this operation. The boos ringing around the Salford Community Stadium, but the gap between the two sides now massive comparatively. And with only 5 minutes left to play, Sam.
So that's where Russell, I know he's on, you know, it's well documented, he's a big money player, but that's where you get it. That's such a, you know, when you watch the All Blacks of old, going back 10, 15 years ago, that great team, they did all the unpredictable things that no one ever thought they would do. And that's a brilliant example, not just securing the win, but the bonus point as well. That's where Russell comes into his own. Just nobody else expected that. That is a moment of brilliance. That's where he's worth his weight in gold. And Bath have certainly got their money's worth out of him already this season.
This season, last season, the Carr-Smith clearance is blocked. Sale have somehow got to find two converted scores in 5 minutes. And on the evidence of what we've seen, I think that is very unlikely. Bath will look to raise the intensity of their defence now for the next couple of minutes and just see this through. We always thought they had just that little edge in terms of personnel here today, given the absentees. Just affected that much less. Nye Thomas being manhandled by Thomas du Toit.
Can play the 9. Okay, release now, please.
I'm sure there's going to be a whole lot left of Nye Thomas after that.
No, you can't play.
All but swallowed up. And the ball finally comes loose, and Bath are penalised. And the frustration is boiling over from Jakob Kutsia, and this is looking a little tasty. Tom Dunn being dragged out of the action by Jean-Luc Duprier.
Okay, thanks, let's move on then.
Oh, well, the reaction to the little shove, you could say mildly disproportionate. However, tension's running high and the frustration levels pretty strong in various different parts of the field right now.
I know it's handbags, but I like it. It shows the players care, especially the Sale players. They want to get something out of this, whether it's a losing bonus point at least. I like a bit of handbags.
Yeah, they need the converted score for that point. And of course, this proud record.
Okay, hands away now, please. Hands away.
Home form exceptional to this point in the league.
What's it?
Thomas having a little dart, and Will Butts having none of that. On Asanya Waits, and the two young props combine. Miles Reid making life difficult. Bath still managing to put their shoulder to the wheel here. Just as important to deny points as it is to score their own. Francois Van Veek, the latest to stem the flow. Thomas waits, out it comes. Addison with a little jink and dart. Rob Duprier has it and sends it wide. Clattering tackle that Carpenter somehow finds a way through, despite some ferocious defending, and again the tempers are flaring. But Carpenter setting up the opportunity for Rob Duprier to bank at least a losing bonus here today.
Well, they've got a chance to win it still if he can kick the conversion. It's a really nice outside break, isn't it, from Carpenter? Rides that tackle. That's a big old hit as well. So still has the balance and the strength to go over. It's a massive kick, this, Ali. He's got to take his time.
Perfect, thanks. Games will restart. Perfect, thanks, mate.
Straight as a die. The first point banked by the Sale Sharks, and there are more on the line potentially, but time very much against them. How has he found a way through those two challenges? Fantastic effort. Orlando Bailey and Tom de Glanville left in his wake. Good strength from Joe Carpenter. And they've got 30 seconds left to pull this out of the fire. 6 points the difference. The win still on. The bonus point for the 4 tries still on. O'Flaherty, knowing now that possession is all. Thomas finding Raymond, who's been really busy in the loose. Player driven off the ball in the breakdown and Sharks have got a long way to travel from here. Really have to keep ball in hand. O'Flaherty again.
Okay, thanks, mate.
They could go 2 or 3 phases here, Ali. They don't get anywhere. Go to a decent box kick and try and regather. It's still a really good attacking ploy.
Clock in the red. Thomas mixing it up, going left and right. Raymond, looking for those quick hands to free up O'Flaherty.
Okay, thanks, mate.
Instead, it's Onasanya who drops on it. Once more back inside their own 22. And leaving that heavy carrying work to the Dupreers. Carpenter.
Right flat, 16, thank you.
Let's go all the way back to last January, and La Rochelle, the last team to beat Sale here on their own patch. And there's the penalty that will seal it for Bath. Jakob Coetzee going in. The final breakdown penalty that does the job.
To make matters worse, if they kick the penalty, they deny them the losing bonus point.
This is it. This could be heartbreaking for Sale, right at the death. Coetzee just able to withstand the efforts of Van Rijn and Bedlow and operate in the darkest of places. So Finn Russell to send Bath back home down the M6 with all 5 points and leave Sale with nothing at all. Victory for the league leaders. A significant win as we head for the Six Nations Championship on an awkward weekend for both. Sale very much depleted, Bath also depleted, but coming through with a high-quality squad and some high-quality scores. McConaughey twice, Ajomo with a score, and Tom Carr-Smith profiting from that speed of thought from Finn Russell. Full time here. Sale 23, Bath 32.
Yeah, it was a valiant performance from Sale, but they were up against it from the start, weren't they, in terms of the names on the opposition team sheet. Bath were brilliant in the second half. They have been all season. Their stats speak for themselves. Barbary, I thought, had a very good game. He carried around the field. Finn Russell, as you'd expect, controlled everything, especially bearing in mind what's in his mind going forward for the next 2 months. But for me, one player epitomised everything that was great about Bath today, both sides of the ball, and it was about energy and desire. And that's why that guy there, Miles Reid, is our Gallagher Premiership Player of the Match. I thought he had a really good game.